Yeah, it's like midweek, so I don't even know if, like, not even, it's early week. So, hey, I'm gonna see how many people gonna hop on real quick and just chat. Hey, y'all. I'm gonna see how many people gonna get on and stay on. I wanted to talk about my next release. Hey, 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 hey. What's up? Hey. I was like, it's Tuesday. I was like, ain't nobody about to be hopping on no live on no Tuesday. But still, even if people wasn't gonna get on, I wanted to I know. Like, what is going on? Like, me going live on a Tuesday, never. It's not a thing. Even my, like, I know I'm feeling myself this week. But still, I had so much that I wanted to say. First of all, again, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who went and purchased Dear Glory and read it. So far, the reviews have been so amazing. I'm really happy about that. But I wanted to talk about my next release. Like, Dear Glory, like, yeah, it was good. It was cool and all. But, like, I'm moving on from that. I'm ready to talk about this next release. And it's been on my mind for, like, a solid year now. There's 2 books that's been on my mind for a solid year now. No, 3. 3 books that's been on my mind for a solid year. That's Winter's Desire, that's Dirty Secret, and Alpha. These 3 books I feel like I've been talking about for such a long time, to the point that I'm finally ready to drop them. Winter's Desire is coming. The only reason why I don't want to drop that, because it's like, I don't know, in comparison to Alpha and Dirty Secret, it's just like, man. So I'm like super excited for these 2. I was a little worried for Dirty Secret because the racial tensions that's coming up, and like getting ready to the political scene and stuff like that. But I'm just like, man, scratch all that. I'm so fucking geeked for this book, to the point that it's just like, I'm a little nervous because I'm like, I don't want to be canceled. But I really am like super freaking excited for this book. I'm so excited. This and Alpha, in Winter's Desire, they wanted me to make the guy a different race because he has an accent. I don't know if I'm still going to do that. Maybe I'll do it like on and off like I did Axel's accent. But so I'm like working on all of these cool projects right now, and I just want to talk about it, because when I try to talk to my people on Patreon, baby, they don't be wanting to hear me. They don't want to be talked. They don't want to talk to me. So now y'all got to talk to me. Y'all got to hear me ramble. I'm so excited for like the future, y'all. I have never been this excited for books, because I have never really just like not gave a damn about what I'm gonna be putting out. I have always been like, except for the first year that I dropped, I have always been like really insecure about my books and what I drop and how I drop it, and if what people gonna say, how people gonna say it, am I gonna get canceled, am I this and am I that. Man, screw all that. Y'all about to get all of the books, everything that come up in my head, regardless. I swear, I notice, like, I want to say like literally 99.9% of the time, the things that I be thinking and wanting to do, everybody be like, nah. Like, I like when I run these polls, I be running them for like a reason, like research purposes. I'd be like, I think I said on my Patreon poll, I was like, do y'all think that what's the best conflict? I was like, for like a boyfriend to like be manipulative, or dad. It was like a boyfriend. I was like, man, I'm going with the dad, because that's what was in my mind, so I went with it. And then I did the little poll on my notification board, and I was like, what's the best route to go? Like, what's the best readable thing, college or high school? And they was all like, baby, college. I was like, but you know what, I'm gonna go high school, because that's what was in my heart. But I just wanted to know like how many people thought otherwise. But I was like, I'm going to go the way my heart tell me to go. And I know more than likely it's not the best route but I don't care. Because it's just like, how many people have read Connor and Kalani's story and think, oh, I could have done without them meeting like this? Like, hardly anybody could think Connor and Kalani's story, where it started, shouldn't have started there. And the reason why I have them be at that age and in that like demographic, usually getting ready to go into college, is because like they're so young and dumb and impressionable. They can make the silliest mistakes without people feeling like, oh, that was dumb. Like, she shouldn't have did that. Like, so that's why I have them. If I know my characters are gonna literally do something dumb, I'm like, let's put them in high school to give them a little bit more leeway to make this dumb decision. Because if I had a 35-year-old okay, think about it right now. If you think about how Kalani was when she first met Connor, if I had her make those same mistakes with those same red flags, more than likely people would have been like, she was stupid. I can't believe every decision she made, like, why was she ignoring her, like the people around her and stuff like that? So I literally did that because she was young and impressionable. And I knew it would have been okay for her to make those mistakes. That's how I'm going to take this opportunity to do the things with Liberty, because in the original, she was coming back home because of like a job opportunity or whatever. I can't remember. But in Atticus I can't remember if y'all remember. Hold on, wait. Can I ask, do you plan on... No, I'm not making the story be BDSM related. No. That's why I took out the little. At first the story was Dirty Little Secret. And I was like, I took out the little because I do not want the story to have any connotations with BDSM. The story is already taboo enough, and I don't want people to be like, oh, this is gonna get icky, because I don't want people to think it's gonna have like race play or anything. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. Let me repeat, it is nothing like that. That is not my jazz. That is not I'm not gonna yuck nobody's yum. I know people who are into that, but that is not me, and I'm not gonna do it, and I'm not gonna write about it. Maybe in private time or whatever people got going on, but I'm not gonna write about that because I understand the repercussions of stuff like that. So I would never do that, especially not with a white man and black woman whose family has racial problems. So no, no. That's why I took out little. The story is called Dirty Secret. And you'll know why. So no, it has nothing to do with BDSM on purpose. Will this book be a part of the Fergus series? No, this book is not a part of the Fergus series. The Fergus series is specifically like BDSM related. And the next book up for the Fergus family is Dak's book. That's probably gonna come after. I don't know if I'll write Alpha after I write Dirty Secret. I was planning on writing Kane and Charity's book. My goal is to write Kane and Charity's book. Now that I'm writing Carter's story, I think I'm in the process of like getting excited about the Irish characters again, especially since I wrote Axel. Axel was like a prelude into like getting in the mindset of like the O'Sheas, because somebody was like, I had a Patreon person who was like, I can't really get into this because like his accent kind of reminds me of the O'Sheas, and I keep tying them to that. And I'm just like, girl, if you know me, you know I always leave freaking Easter eggs. Just think of it as an Easter egg. I don't do nothing unintentionally. I'm not gonna create an Irish family out of nowhere just for nothing. So I feel like people, or maybe people just brand new, they don't know me, but I don't do anything unintentionally. I don't not tell a story that's as interesting as Axel's without having a reason. So look at it as an Easter egg that's gonna come up somewhere, somehow, some form. It's intentional. I didn't create this guy to have an accent just for shits and giggles, just for him to sound sexy. I did it on purpose. I didn't tell his story on purpose. I left clues as to what happened in his family without giving too much away on purpose. It's all intentional. Y'all know me. Y'all know how I operate. It's intentional. But other than that, Dax's story will come after. How I intend for it to operate will be Dirty Secret. I don't know what order, but it'll be Winter, maybe Alpha, and then Cain. It's no particular order, but maybe those 3 books will come out first, and then I'll do Dax. Because Dax is not necessarily it's not writing per se, it's just a lot of editing. So what I want to do is, before I get to that long period of editing Dax's books, I want to kind of like build up my income so that way I can take the time that I need to build his books up. I don't think I had any more questions. Okay. But yes, y'all, I'm like super freaking excited because I don't think I've ever been this motivated to write. Right, babe? I'm purposely sharing bits and pieces of my work so that way I can get motivated to write. I don't know if y'all noticed that I'm posting more. I don't even care if I get any interactions, because I feel like I did notice like the climate is a lot different nowadays. I can understand like that some people are just not in a good place to read, especially like my next work. But I just want to get in a good place myself, and in doing that is writing what I want to write. And I just hope that the way I do things just brings a smile to people's face, and seeing such a passionate love. I don't know, I'm really excited. Oh my God, y'all. Like this era of books for me is going to be one for the history books, because I feel like, in my opinion, I just got banger after banger after banger after banger after banger. And I just don't think, in my opinion, no matter how it's received, no matter how a person like it, I think at least 2 people tell me, maybe 2, only 2 so far, tell me that they didn't too much care for Dear Glory. But y'all know what? That would have, back in the day, Rose, like that would have crippled me. Back in the day, that would have left me depressed. Back in the day, Rose would have been like, I'm a shitty writer. But I'm just like, this Rose, like, I can't please everybody. I think 3 people told me that. I was like, baby, I can't please everybody. You're not going to like every character that I write. You're not going to resonate with every storyline that I write, because I'm not writing you. I'm writing this character. Most 3 people told me that they couldn't connect with the female character because of, well, her emotions. But the other one, which was my proofreader, she told me she got it, and she got a well-rounded story and all of that. But most of the time they're not connecting because like they expect, I feel like I did this to myself because I write such
amazing.
I do write amazing characters and perfect characters. I do. I feel like they're perfectly flawed in every way, but I think I have gotten so used to, like, people have gotten so used to me having characters like Odette, who is like ghetto, raunchy, all of this stuff. They're so used to me writing characters like that, to the point that they always want me to write characters like that because they relate to characters like that. And honestly, I'm not trying to write characters that everybody relates to. I'm trying to write Black girls in general. And we are not a monolith. I keep saying this. I literally keep saying this, y'all. There are Black women who don't have a humble bone in their body. There are Black women who are rich, who got daddies that care. There are Black women who got Black men in their lives who actually give a damn about them. And I'm gonna write them. I'm gonna write them. Every black man in my book is not gonna be a hood dad. Every black man in my books are not gonna sell drugs. Every black man in my book is not gonna like be scared to approach a white man. I'm not doing that. There's gonna be black women who are attracted to black men. Like, get over it. And I feel like sometimes when readers are, not all, but sometimes when readers approach me like that, it makes me like, ugh. Like, I do not dislike black men, and I do not like when readers don't like me to write black men in a positive light. I don't like it, and you're not gonna get it from me. Yes, I don't know. It just makes me upset, and I think people were so like, they didn't understand, like, I had a Fabian, because when they think reverse harem or like a lot of that, they think like it's always got to be all white. No, baby, I don't know. It really upset me. Because they was like, I don't understand her trauma. She got a daddy that give a damn. And he's, oh, like, what do you mean? She got a daddy that give a damn. And in my opinion, I was like, I thought that was amazing. I thought that was amazing. And don't get me wrong, I know it probably could be to some a weak trauma, but to have your daddy bust in your house and snatch your date up off of you, like, who want that? Yeah, like, and then got your ex watching your house. How you not understand that? Nobody would want that, but the problem is they don't want the dad doing it. They want the boyfriend doing it. They don't want the dad doing it. They want the boyfriend to do it. My thing is, every single time they want the black woman to be so desirable to the point that she got everybody stalking her, but that's not gonna always be the case, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, let me read these comments. Thank you. Yes, I know that's right. Period. Do you plan on editing your other books from Vella after Dax books? Yes. So, first of all, I think I said this last live. Y'all, I was looking at Faith and Love. Faith and Love is a 2-parter book, first of all. 2 parts. I am only on 2/3 of the first part. And do y'all know that book is 256,000 words? I was like, where? 256,000 words, and that is only that book is only a 2/3 done of the first part. I was like, where did I get the time to write all of that? And Faith and Love came well after Dax. I think Faith and Love has only been out for a year. That's wild to me. Thank God, because why put you in the next book? Oh, why put me in a box with my creativity? Exactly. Like, I feel like a lot of people really want to Irish Dawn me down. And I get it, because y'all love Connor. I love Connor and hate Connor at the same time, because I wrote such a compelling character to the point that everybody wants every book to look like that. And every book is not going to look like that. Everybody wants a Kalani, and you're not going to get a Kalani every character. Now everybody loves Odette, and you're not going to get an Odette every character. Like, I want to write, like, I've said my goal several times to people. My goal is to show every black woman, even the black women that y'all might not like. If y'all go back and y'all look at my dedication page, I meant what I said, because I love us for real. Even the motherfucking mean ones. I love us. I don't care if you don't like the character. We are entitled to write flawed characters. Every character is not going to be perfect, y'all. I just don't understand. I just don't get it. We want to say we're not a monolith, but we want to monolith the hell out of us. I don't get it. I don't understand. I want I want us to see ourselves, just like I don't believe I saw myself in most characters prior to me writing like Odette, Kalani, and everything, like, and like my characters. I don't think I saw them in other books, but I want somebody to read. Okay, let me give you an example. One of my readers who read Dear Glory, she was like, Glory is me. I am Glory. Like the way, like, and I have never heard somebody say that, because I feel like I wrote Glory as a person that I don't even know. I had to do literal research on how, like, the shoes and the clothes and the rich and the, like, the hotels, and how I have never written a character with money, like a black girl with that much money, and a person like family that actually cared, because I've always written black girls with like mama issues, daddy issues, like the daddy's a thug on the side, or the family is heavily religious. I've never written like such a character like Glory, who really kind of like had her shit together, and who had like a mind of her own, and who had her money, so she wasn't impressed by it. Even though I love the like the Pretty Woman type, like where the girl be impressed. I love those books, but I also love characters where like they're not, and it's tastefully done, where you can still impress them enough where they're like, oh, okay, well, shit, take me out. Like my favorite line in Dear Glory, and I was talking to Pedro about it, was when she said, if y'all, and this is not a spoiler, this is just a thing, this is just a quote, and I don't know if y'all read it, but baby, when I thought it, I snapped. In my opinion, she said, I can't remember verbatim, but she was like, and he's proudly strutting me around, and a man who knows my worth is a man that I want to get to know. I was like, ugh, girl, talk about it. A man who knows my worth is a man that I want to know. I have never heard a woman in one of my books say something like that. Like, y'all wanted this girl to be insecure so bad. Y'all wanted this girl to just be weak-willed so bad. And I was just like, nah. I wasn't going to give her that energy. I didn't want her to be ghetto. I didn't want her to have a dad that was hood. Because that's how the story started out. The story started out with her dad. And don't get me wrong, I still might write it. I still might write it because it's a good-ass story. But as I was writing it, I just felt like, I was just like, nah, I didn't want to write another ghetto girl, or I didn't want to write another girl who had traumas that ran so deep. One of my proofreaders was like, I love that Glory was just living her life. And that's what I wanted. The girl was just living her life. She really had no traumas. And the book really, I understand that the book didn't really have any strong conflict, but I feel like that's what made the book special, is the fact that she chose that. A lot of the time, the male characters in my books are so overbearing to the point that they don't get to choose the life that she wants. She chose Axel, and I love that for her. I mean, he still was not going to let her go, but still, like, he chose her. I love that. Oh my. I missed a lot of comments. I love the reverse harm for Glory. Me too, baby. I don't relate to none of your characters when I'm reading. I want to escape, period. We want to escape. I love the protective dad. Me too. You can't please everyone, and don't let anyone ruin your gift. You know what? I sometimes for a long time, I let people ruin my gift, because for Dirty Secret, you're right about right. Where, yeah, a lot of your books read lately have the same formula, ghetto black women. Girl, I noticed that. Trust me, I noticed that. But I feel like I was off. The reason why I wrote the ghetto black girls, because I hadn't seen. They're three friends, so that's why they had the same formula. They were three friends who came from the hood, which was Fifi, Odette, and and Aspen. That's why the books have the same formula, because they are all friends and they all came from the hood. So that's why they have the same formula. But Faith is not ghetto. She has ghetto tendencies, but she got money too. But yeah, like back before this period in my life, I did let people ruin my gift. I did. I wanted to please everybody. I literally did. That's why I was in Patreon writing 10 different stories at the same time. Until I was like, no, I'm not doing this. It's not sustainable. I'm never going to get anything written if I keep going at this route. So yeah, I'm not going to let nobody ruin my gift. I'm not going to let nobody dictate what type of story I write, because again, nobody asked for Dear Glory, but I wrote it because I wanted to write it. And I felt that these characters were speaking to me more than anything else. And just like Dirty Secret is speaking to me more than anything else, I'm going to write that. Winter, Kane, and Alpha. Those are the characters that are primarily talking to me at the moment, and I'm going to listen. I wanted to say, I think people love Connor so much, but I didn't want to seem mean. They can't let it go. No, man, these people love Connor. I love him too, because he was such a compelling character. Connor came from such a love for like, I really wanted to show, like, I don't think people talked about Irish people enough. And but prior to meeting Pedro, I had a thing about like red hair, and I had never seen that before portrayed in books. And I was like, let me write about something like this. And it was a fun read. But at the time, I was just like, like, I'm over it. I got that out. And I also don't want to regurgitate the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Because one thing I didn't want people to think was, oh, Rose writes only Irish men. Not true. Just like the person up front, she was like, they have the same formula, ghetto girls. That's not all I write. If you look back on my other books, they're not like that. But again, if you continue to write the same thing, people will know you for one thing. Not saying that she only knew me for one thing, but I'm saying that's how people are. Or they would only want you to write one thing. I think it's crazy. Oh, y'all, I'm so far behind on comments. I'm just trying to catch up. Okay. I think it's crazy that people like The Irish Dawn. My favorite book from you is His Obsession. People love His Obsession. That's His Obsession. I've said it several times before. His Obsession was the book that I made my first five-figure paycheck close to. I think it was like $4 off. Right, babe? I was like, it was almost there. I was almost there, but I'm gonna say it was 5 figures. But so His Obsession is everybody's favorite. Like, they love him so much, but I hear about Connor more, like, than Channing. But I got a question, huh, baby?
For the month, it was your second most read book.
Yeah,
it's like one of your oldest ones.
Yeah. Also, I want to ask, like, so what is it that makes His Obsession so captivating? Is it because Channing was over the top? Was it the ending? I have a theory that it's the over the top in love he was. 2, okay, 1, how over the top in love he was. 2, there were no triggers. Like, there were no, like, triggers so anybody could read it. You know what I'm saying? And 3, it was the ending. Like, the fact that, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who didn't read it. The ending was also very compelling, because it was like, wait a minute, I wasn't expecting that. But there were so many hints. So let me go reread this, because it was, like, so good. So that's why I think His Obsession was so good. And Vampire King and I. Everybody loved Vampire King and I too. Started reading your books because each character is unique and seems so real, period. Thank you. Girl, you're such a vap. I can't relate to that. She was. I can relate to that. She was. And I love this. I was a proofreader. Sparkle Panda! That's my girl. She's the one who got me so excited to write Glory. I was so like distraught about Glory because of... And look, baby, my Kanara, I love, baby, she's gonna critique the hell out of me, okay? But Sparkle Panda, I don't know how to say your name, but let me tell you how much you made my day. Because I was so sad about the critique that I had gotten, but I didn't find that it wasn't valuable from my other proofreader. But let me tell you how much you made my day, because you made me think in a different level. Like, I was like, well, she's right. It's her character is not relatable. But when you said she was just living her life, I was just like, you're right. It made me not want to, because at first I was going to make Linus ass cheat on her. I was gonna make it. I had it written and everything, y'all. And Pedro, my baby, my husband, he was like, babe, he was like, when I read this chapter, it just makes me feel so sad. And I had it already written, and then you said, literally, this was after I had written a chapter, and you was like, you literally messaged me a few minutes after I had just completed it, and you said, well, I hope she doesn't have like a traumatic experience and she just have like a life event. And I was like, she's right. I was like, she's right. I literally was going to give this girl a traumatic experience to just boost her storyline. And I was like, I didn't want to do that. And that really did make my day, because I had to realize, like, every black woman doesn't have to have a traumatic ass experience. I didn't want Glory's storyline to be attached to a man traumatizing her. That's why I made it attached to her dad, like, just being overprotective. I didn't want her storyline to be like a sad ass, okay, my man did this to me, my man did that to me, and now he want me back, and I want to get away, and blase this and blase. I was like, man, I'm tired of that trope. We get so many times. I was like, we get so many of those motherfucking tropes in the black woman, in the black community. We really need to see overprotective dads. We really need to see overprotective brothers. We really need to just see a black woman living her god dang on good life. And I feel like that's what Glory was to me. So that's why I feel like Glory was even though people said she was boring and she didn't, and she wasn't relatable, I was like, okay, but I feel like I wrote her really well. So, especially after I rewrote like some of the things out of her personality, I feel like I wrote her really well. Most of your books don't have ghetto. No, most of them have like teachers. Do I have a teacher? Was Willow a teacher? I think she worked at a daycare or something. I can't remember. Teachers, lawyers, like most of them are entrepreneurs, own their business. I think Tracy owned like real estate. Winter owns an event planning business. Most of the, like Kalani, even though she didn't want to go to school, she wanted to be a baker. The only person who don't want to do shit is Odette. And y'all have no idea how many people was like, give Odette a hobby. And Dax was like, bitch, I am her hobby. Odette is literally the only girl who does not have like any real, like, she's really good at like cosmetology, and she might do that, but not like Odette is literally that girl who is going to be pampered in every single way. And people are not gonna like that, because let me also tell y'all something about yourselves, black women, myself included. Black women are allowed to not have to work. Let me repeat that. Black women are not allowed to not have to work. We're allowed.
You said not the second time.
Okay, y'all know what I meant. we're allowed to let our man be like dote on us if that's what we want. Like, we don't always have to give them something to do outside of their man, especially if it's a BDSM community and you know, like, that's what they want. Dax is a 24/7 dom. He wants his woman to want him 24/7. Y'all can't, come on.
Relatable.
Stop, baby. Like, I'm serious. Like, people's like, give her a job, give her a hobby, give her something. And you don't give me, like, when that man was in a meeting, she could go up in that meeting. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. Y'all bullied Kalani for that too, because she didn't want to go to college. I feel like I understand, like, it's extremely important to show, like, a black woman getting her education and all of that, but just like y'all, leave some of these characters alone and let them have their thoughts. My sister, like, my real sister, is going to school to be a welder. Now I'm about to write a welder. I ain't never in my life wanted to write a female welder, but baby, I'm about to write one now. But no, I know you didn't mean that, baby. When you said, like, using the same formula, I know what you was talking about. But I was just saying, like, I know you didn't mean that. Don't you? I know. I want to reread it. Glory. Okay, yeah, I need to get caught up to these comments. But okay. Before he is, you only wrote well-off women. I did. I felt like I was obligated to. They all had their jobs. Outside of Kalani, I think Kalani was the only one. Even she was well off. They had, like, their code switching moments, but they never were, like, ghetto, like Fifi, Aspen, and O'Day. Even Aspen is not as, like, ghetto, and Fifi is not as ghetto. Like, they have their thoughts, but that girl is something else. It was the over the top for me. Like, Channing Pedro is in the process of re-editing his obsession, and he was like, babe, as Angel was talking and Channing was listening, she said, I want 3 kids. This man said, we can have as many kids as you want. Like, the way he was just so in like, enthralled with her, like, this, like, I feel like that's what made Channing a really good character. It was unexpected paranormal. Oh, wow. So that's what it was. I just bought Dear Glory. I'm so excited to read it. I hope you like it. Channing was over the top. Yeah, the ending was cool, but Channing's personality actions made the story for me. So y'all, like, so tell me. Hold on, let me go read these things. Oh, you just made my day. I'm glad I did. Girl, this is why you're my favorite author. Exactly. I just want to see us loved and happy, period. So like, when I think about Channing, I don't think of him as, like, like, obviously he was a boss, but his personality wasn't like he was running a company. His whole personality was like he was in love with, like, he was thirsty. That's what Pedro said. He was like, babe, this man is so thirsty. Like, all he cares about is Angel. So it's the over the top. Y'all really just like a character that just, like, overly portrays his obsession for the character, like the female character. Y'all want somebody that's like eat, breathe, sleep main character. That's what y'all want. That's what y'all like. Okay, but Linus and Glory's exes traumatized her because she couldn't have kids. Yeah, she did. She had flaws. She did. But I feel like also with Glory not being able to have kids, because that's something also Sparkle Panda told me. She was like, maybe you can lean in, because in the original I didn't lean in on that. But I feel like I didn't want that to be her. Like, I didn't want her trauma to be traumatizing, if that made any sense. I wanted it to be something etched into her personality, but I didn't want it to be traumatizing. I didn't want it to be like, oh God, he said, like, God, I can't have kids, I'm less than a woman, and I didn't want none of that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when I originally, before anybody touched the document, I made that her. Like, she was such a sad ass character. Like literally, y'all. She was sad. And I was like, God, I was like, this is depressing. That's the reason why I didn't drop Winter, because if people are on Patreon, if you can speak for this, Winter's story, as good as it is and as messy as it is, it's so sad. And I was like, I didn't want to write a sad story in this climate that we're in. Don't get me wrong, like, Dirty Secret is gonna have its moments, but primarily, except for the end of it, like the middle, because it's a 2-part book, you're like, it's not sad. And I didn't want to write a sad ass black woman. I was like, oh, I don't want to write that. I just didn't want to write that. It really, as I was writing her cat, because I was like 15,000 words in. I was just like, ugh. I was like, baby, I can't do this. And as I was writing Winter's story, I'm on the part, if you're on Patreon now, y'all know what part we on. Y'all know that's like one of the climax scenes that we're getting ready to reach for Winter's story. And I was like, oh, baby, I can't do this. I was like, I'm not about to be putting these people through this trauma of this woman right during the winter time when everybody already seemed depressed. Y'all see my post. I really mean it. I feel like people are really sad right now, and I didn't want to do that. So that's why I wrote such a fun story with a character that didn't have many flaws, that you can really just like have fun reading and get lost in without having to feel heavy. But that's why I did that. I've been reading this slump for 6 months. Your villains were getting me through it. I'm super excited to read Their Glory. Oh, I'm sorry you're in a slump. There's some really good things. There's some really good books out. I need to start posting more books for you guys to read, just in case you guys are in a reading slump. Maybe if you guys like short stories, there's a girl named Amani J. She's really good at writing short stories. She wrote a good one that I was like really interested in. It's called The Kraken something, owned by the Kraken, and I was like, baby, that sounds good. Got tentacles and everything. Okay, I think I'm almost getting through these comments, y'all. That better not ever get a job, baby. Dax would lose his mind. I feel like I should do that just to troll Dax one day. I feel like I should have Dax like go to work. Like go to work with, I can't spoil it because I don't know how many of y'all read it, but I feel like I should write that. That would be such a fun chapter to write. Like Dax go to work with one of the babies, and then Dax just be sitting at the door like a little puppy dog just waiting on her. Oh my God, I feel like that would be such a that would be such a cute chapter. I highly appreciate you spotlighting so many dark-skinned black women female lead. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I also didn't want, speaking on that, I also didn't want Glory to have a trauma for being dark skinned, especially in that age. Because baby, let me tell y'all something. In the 90s, black women, like black dark skinned women, baby, they were everywhere. Like everywhere. And I was like, oh my God, 90s was such an era. The 90s was such an era that I was like, man, I feel like not enough books take place in that time. I also think people don't realize how special those times were, because when you went on vacation, baby, you could disappear. There was no social media. Like, you was not scrolling on your phone. You was outside. Like, you was doing things. Like, you was reading books. You was, like, you had to get on I should have made the girl use a payphone. I feel like the 90s is such an unexplored era of books that we could just like really delve in, because I don't think people really like understand like how much fun people can get into with not being able to access the person that you really care about so much. Like that's why they wrote letters. I was like, oh my God, like that's such a old thing to do. And she was trying to get away from her dad, and like I was like, she outside and her dad can't reach her because she ain't got no cell phone. I was like, come on, like that's a time to think like, oh, I'm trying to get away from my job. I'm gonna go somewhere and my job can't just call my phone and reach me. That was a vibe. Like don't reach me on vacation. I just feel like people don't think we don't think about that enough. Dax would have a fit if she was to watch anybody's hair. Dax is such a over the top character, but he is such a good character. Like when I tell y'all the scenes that I'm going to write for Dax and this at like in the rewrite, y'all thought he was over the top then. Now that I've got a better grasp of who Dax is today, oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all are not about to be getting this wishy-washy Dax or Odette. Y'all about to get some firecracker ass. Like I'm telling y'all, like if y'all love Dax and Odette on Vela, y'all are gonna love them even more now, because, and I'm not gonna do what I did to Kalani and them. I don't plan on taking out much. I just want to expand on like things that I feel like I left unsaid. Like more of Trina, more of, and don't say much about it because I don't want to spoil it. Like more of Trina, more of Margaret. One of my reviewers left a comment about Glory not being around, baby. The reason why Glory has not been around because Glory did not exist. Glory did not exist. Glory came up on December 21st, maybe the 25th. And then what happened was, as I was talking his ear off about the story, I was like, maybe we can do this and this and this. So that's how Glory came to be. But Glory didn't exist. So that's why she was never around. I feel like I need to write her into Fifi's story. So I'll probably be updating that like very soon. But it'll just be a small thing. It's not going to be anything too crazy. I might just mention like Meemaw Glory or something like that. Or not Meemaw Glory, like Grandma Glory or something like that. But nothing too crazy. I finally caught a damn live. Yes, ma'am. Hey, girl. When will Carter's new chapters be available to the other tier? Carter's chapter, you talking about the $10 tier. I think, I don't know. I might drop, I don't know. I have to figure it out. Because I don't mind the next tier getting Carter's story. But I have to give the other tier something to make it balance out. I don't really like writing my work in progresses on Patreon like that, because sometimes the people can be really judgmental, or they can really like deter me from like really liking my characters, and they can really make me, and I don't think they mean it. I just think when I have so many people's hand in the pot, and especially depending on what mental state that I'm in, it can kind of ruin it for me. So if I make a Carter available to the $10 tier, which is the white rose tier, I would have to give the $20 tier, which is the blue rose tier, something else. And right now I'm just not in that mental capacity to do so. So let me think on that, because I would have rather Carter be in the $10 tier and Knox be in the $20 tier, but let me think on that. I think I'm almost caught up to the comments. Would you consider Inkit as well as Patreon? I've heard little things about Inkit. But right now, I don't think so. The reason why I don't think I would do Inkit is because I don't want to write in the chapter by chapter format anymore. I feel like it is not, it doesn't suit me well anymore. Writing in a chapter by chapter format, while the money is good, it takes away so much of my time, effort, and energy. And I don't want to, I would rather spend my time I wrote Glory in 2 weeks, y'all. And I edited in a few days. That would never be possible if I was writing on Bella right now. Like, I don't think you guys understand how much content I put out on Bella. Dax has 170 something chapters. Faith and Love had 150. Chase had 100 and something chapters. That in itself is bonkers. Do y'all not know how Dear Glory is just 21 chapters. Think about that. Think about how many books I had out. I could have put out if I wasn't writing on not Patreon, on Vella, on Inkit, or any of these other platforms. So I don't want to write long form anymore. I would rather just put my effort and energy into putting out books. I feel like it's more affordable in the climate that we're in, and I think people would prefer to get a full story than to read chapter by chapter, especially if the full story is coming out really quick. And I just think I think that's the route that I'm gonna go, at least for the next year. I don't know, maybe if a new platform jumps up, I might put my chapters back on there, or I might do something different. I really do want to write Fallen. Fallen would be the only book that I would drop on any other platform, and I don't think it has enough of a audience to put anywhere right now. Glory plot twist is everything, and I was even shocked about it. His obsession is one of my favorites. Yeah. I love how Glory was able to explore who she was and what she didn't. What she didn't know. Yeah. I love, one of my other proofreaders told me to have her question Axel more. That was a good thing, how she questioned him. I don't know if you need to add Glory into Fifi's story. You can't have them talk about that meeting in Aspen's book before she had a baby. Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe I can. Because I know how she's going to be entered into Fifi's story. But I don't know. I know how, not Fifi's. I'm lying. Odette's story. I know how she's going to be in Dette's story. Which I think is primarily the place that I want her to be. The reason why she's not in, I feel like it's okay for her not to be in Fifi's story because of they're not interacting too much. Fifi was so out of the loop purposely because she didn't want to get to know anybody. That was her intentions, was just to scam these people into hurting their son. But it makes more sense for Det to know her than anybody else. It wouldn't make sense for Aspen to know her right now because she's not a part of the family. And Glory, there's a reason why even Odette will get to know her, even not late, but later in the story. Can we possibly get some visuals of Glory in the night? Absolutely. I will do that. Absolutely. That's a really great idea. Maybe I should, I should do that. I have a person who does actual art too. So I'll come up with, yeah. I'll do that. That's a great thing. I'll do that. Oh yeah, I'm at the end. You gonna post this? I'm at work. Yeah, hey Kanisha. Yes, I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna start posting all my lives on the thing. I used to be self-conscious about it, and I was like, ugh, like I don't want to see myself on my feed. But yes, I'm gonna post all of that. I'm gonna post all of this on my feed, even if I don't be comfortable. But let me get ready to end this. But I just want to say, like, oh, let me say, I wanted to specifically come on here and talk about how people was talking about, I think I wrote it, I think I said this already, but about the high school deal. I don't, and about the racial tensions and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm just a different type of thinker. I primarily don't write things not because I don't want to write them. A lot of the times it's there's certain things I won't touch, but y'all, I've had certain people tell me, like, I think it's gross to write about high schoolers because, like, they're young and they're this. And maybe it's because I was outside when I was a high schooler, and I don't know what type of high schoolers y'all know, but baby, maybe the high schoolers in Texas just different. In Houston, Texas, at Eisenhower and Ike and Aldine, the ones that I hung around, maybe they was just different because they not acting like the ones that y'all know. I was not like that. I was outside. We was doing things. We was out and about. We was acting grown. Like, I don't write. People was like saying, you don't write them like they're in high school. And I was like, to me, I am writing them like they were in high school. I don't feel like I aged, maybe Connor, because of his upbringing. He's a special character. He's in the mafia. I'm not going to make him a baby, but I don't feel like I aged Kalani up. Like, I was talking like this in high school. Like, my friends and us, when we was strutting down the hallways, baby, we was supermodels. We was those girls. I don't understand, like, what type of high schools y'all was in, but that just was not the life I lived. I don't understand. Like, we was not babies. I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we was acting right. But when we was 18, 17, we was outside. We was paying bills. I was paying bills at 16. I was buying my own sanitary products. My mama made me get a job. I was grown. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm from the hood and we had to work. But I don't know these baby teens that y'all know. Like, I don't know. I mean, my kids is different, but I was outside at 18. I'm just trying to figure out, like, I don't know. They just like, they babies. And I'm just like, where? 18 is grown. I don't know. Maybe I just grew up differently. And I'm not trying to justify it or anything like that. But I'm just saying I don't feel like I wrote these characters any different than how I lived my life. So I guess I was just trying to understand it, but I also understand, like, people grew up in different eras. But when I asked my mama, I was like, Mama, what was y'all doing in the 90s? What was y'all doing at this age? She was like, baby, we was outside. So I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't typically care if the characters start in high school because they be fucking like, and I'm not saying that I just need, like, it's just normal. I guess it was normal for us when we grew up. When I grew up, I'm not even saying I was outside, like, doing all types of, like, stuff, but I definitely know people who were. I remember being in high school because I was virgin, and I had people, like, I was talking about it, and I remember people was telling me, like, I had friends telling me, like, girl, like, ew, like, you're a virgin. like, you not outside? Like, you not, well, not outside, because outside became a term, like, now. But they was like, I was teased for that. Which in turn made me actually go and do it with somebody that I didn't even care about. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know the type of high school children that you guys know, because that was not my life. So I don't mind writing characters like Kalani. I don't mind writing characters like Liberty and Atticus, because I saw that. If y'all know Eisenhower, if y'all know Ike, if y'all know Aldine, and you grew up in Houston, Texas, 44 acres home, y'all know these kids are not innocent. So, well, I'm not saying innocent like, well, I don't know. I mean, there's some. Everybody's not the same, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Like, at 18, I was happy to be 18, because it meant I didn't have to listen to my parents. I could go off to college and meet new people, and I could stay over the night with my boyfriend, and I could do everything that I wasn't allowed to do prior without getting in trouble. So that's why I was trying to understand, and I get it. It can make people uncomfortable, or I feel like people live certain lives because we're not a monolith. But I was like, I can't imagine Kalani and Connor's story without them being in high school. Even if she was in college, it would still be a different thing, because she would have been more free to do things her parents would have still called, but she wouldn't have had to listen. The whole thing that made Kalani's story was compelling was because she had parents who actually gave a damn, and they was like, hey, don't be doing this. Which is why I'm putting Atticus and Liberty in the situation that they're in, because I want them to have that element of, I gotta listen to adults when I don't want to. And I feel like that element, is not explored enough in IR, because I feel like we get scared of writing the younger generation. But honestly, I find it also very I don't want to say strange or weird, because that's not the term that I want to use, but I want to say, and I want to get off here because it's already getting late, but I find it very
Take your time.
I'm saying, what, I don't know the word that I want to use, baby, but when I go look at the white girls, like the stories and stuff that's super popular over there, it's like college, it's high school, and then you get it over here, and then they're just like, give me a 35, 45, 25-year-old woman. And I'm not saying that's weird. I'm not saying that's weird. I'm saying it, I find it like the parallels to be not, I don't know the word that I'm trying to use, but I find the parallels to be very different, I guess. They will read a kid in high school, and when I read the reviews, nobody said, ew, this is, or like, as a 35-year-old woman, I find this strange. They're in college, I find this strange. I'm not reading that. They're just like, oh my God, this book was so good. Like, the characters were so believable. And then you'll see in a book about a high school, as a black woman, they'll be just like, why was they doing this at this age? And I'm just like, what are y'all talking about? Like, I don't know. It was me. I was a baby teen, very sheltered. I was not, y'all. I wish I would. Well, my mom wanted us to be, but we was outside. Connor had a law degree in high school. Exactly. Because it makes sense. Because he, like, especially if you're writing these, like, mafia characters, they're not meant to be normal. Like, they're not meant to be normal. They have laws, and they have stipulations and stuff that they have to know in order to govern their community, in their organization. So he had to have a law degree, because if not, he would have been in jail. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why, Connor was able to get out of prison. So, and that's the reason what made him such a compelling character, because I didn't want him to be regular. Like, I really honestly didn't want him to be regular. I know it was strange. Like, I know it was not believable. That's the point. Like, duh. It's not, but he's in the mafia. How many people y'all know in y'all life today? You can walk down the street and be like, that guy in the mafia. He 18 with a law degree. Duh. He's not supposed to be normal. Why would you read it? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't get it. I'm a retired crash out. Oh. I read books so that I can share with my teenage daughter. Ooh, okay. I think people don't like black girls in high school because they're overly sexualized girls make it negative. Y'all. Let me talk about this over sexualized thing and then I'm going to hop off for it. I hate that term. Like, I hate it so much because I feel like people take overly sexualized and they made it such a generalized term. Just as well as fetishized, especially in our community. I hate it so much, with a passion. Like, I don't know many girls that don't want to look attractive, that don't want to be attractive, that are not and I'm not saying everybody. Again, we're not a monolith. There are girls absolutely that like the baggy tees. For a long time, I was a tomboy, and my mama had to tell me, she was like, girl, excuse my French, hop off if this is gonna get too much. But my mom was like, girl, these dudes ain't trying to date a nigga. Show you something that got your figure showing. Like, I was a tomboy for a long time. Like, baggy shirts. I can show y'all some pictures. I was baggy shirts. I had some tight jeans on, but I ain't had nobody. Literally, I had nobody. But I think what I don't like being over sexualized is young girls. Like, young girls. Like, girls my daughter's age. She's 11. Okay? Like, don't over sexualize a child, like a little baby child, just because she got shorts on. But if you're like, it's okay for an 18-year-old, a 21-year-old, a 17-year-old to want to look a little mature. And I'm not saying be mature, but let me tell you why. At that age, I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong. I could be very, 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 very wrong, and other people could think very, 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 very different. But it is said, the saying goes that at a young age, you want to look older, and as an older woman, you want to look younger. That's life. That's life. At that age, most girls, not all, most girls are literally trying to look mature because they want to be mature. They think that is the next big thing since sliced bread, to grow up in the world and look, that age. And I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying it's realistic. It's realistic. It's realistic. They're gonna grow up. Like, you can't shelter them forever. And I don't know. I feel like you don't see that in with the white girls. They're not saying, oh, she's wearing shorts, and don't over sexualize her. It's okay to have an attraction. Like, I feel like fetishizing and over sexualizing, like, they'll be like, oh, she had hips and butt and this. I'm just like, well, that's just a normal part of attraction. I did a poll not long ago in my notification board, and I said, what's the first thing you notice about a man? I said smell, I said teeth, I think I even said hands, but everybody was like face, the appearance. You're gonna notice if the guy is fit. You're gonna notice if the guy is like, y'all, nobody's saying we're sexualizing men. Like, you're more than likely gonna find somebody attractive. And I feel like people have to separate those things. Most importantly, when a guy is meeting a woman in a book, they're not saying, oh, her brain is special. Like, you know what I'm saying? The whole point about Connor and Kalani, he looked at her and he found her attractive. He found her adorable. You know what I'm saying? And he got to know her and he was like, oh, this girl is different. But the first thing about him that attracted her was his looks, her looks. Kalani didn't know the first thing about Connor at all. She found his looks attractive. So I feel like people in IR, when it comes to high school, it doesn't make sense to me. Because the first thing you find attractive about somebody is their looks. Do I like the fact that this person is overweight, underweight? Do I like that this person got a butt? Do I like that this person's nose is like smaller, bigger? Do I like that this person's teeth are straight? Do I like that this person has a pretty smile? Like, do I like that this person is fine? Some people literally, when people say love at first sight, is that sexualizing? They be like, damn, she fine. Or damn, he fine. Is that over sexualizing? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. And it's worse for black women because we typically aren't the Euro beauty standards, so it's criticized more. I just find that crazy. We want in our books these typically more than likely white guys to notice us, white? Because think about it. Like, that's what we want. We want in these books that we're reading, because anytime, like, when I drop Dear Glory, people's like, is it BWWM? Is it BWWM? Why does it matter? If the thing that you want is these girls to not be sexualized and da 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 da, why does it have to be a white guy? What, you want him to be attracted to a personality? Then why she gotta be dark skinned? A light-skinned woman is still black. I'm just asking for a friend because it doesn't make sense to me. What do y'all want these girls to look like? You're not reading what if I said a character was ugly? Y'all don't want to read about no ugly characters. So what do you like? Not you, but what do they mean by overly sexualized? Because that's what we're reading eroticas, y'all. Like, let me drop a clean romance. That's not what y'all want. Like, so the attraction has to be there. It don't make sense. None of that makes sense to me. They be like, why is he talking about her hips? Because you're reading an erotica. Why is he talking about her butt? Because you're reading erotica. But you want him to be attracted to her brain? Her eyes? Your eyes, well, in Dear Glory, some things did happen with other objects, but other parts. But I'm just saying, like, it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense. Why are you reading erotica if you don't want the woman over sexualized? That's all I'm saying. Ugly people need looks. They do. I heard somebody say, I think they said that they don't want like average looking characters. They want beautiful characters, and it makes sense. It makes sense. I don't know. But they try to make black women kids. They do. I think it has to be tastefully done. I'm not out here trying to write I think people have to understand and respect different parts of the world. Like, I think I was talking to somebody earlier and they was like, I would find it strange if 13 and 14s, that's over the top. 13 and 14, that's over. Those are still kids. But like 17 is pushing it. But I think you're pretty much already almost out the door, especially if you're 17 and a half. Kalani was like 2 months out of being 18 and people was having a fits. And they was like, baby, she ain't 18 yet. And I'm just like, what is 2 months gonna do? But yeah, but I get it. But okay, if I don't got no more questions, this went on over long, but I love y'all so much. This was so fun. I just wanted to say, dirty secret, everybody is gonna be 18 and It starts out in college. I'm telling y'all now, this is a two-parter. This book right here is about to be so freaking good. I'm not changing my mind. Y'all prepare y'all hearts. This book is gonna be so Atticus. I think y'all gonna love his character because he is over the top in a different way. And everybody was saying, I've gotten a lot of people who said like they're excited to read this one because they've read other racial tension books and they didn't particularly care how they were written. And honestly, I have been wanting to write a racially charged book for a long time, and I know people don't like that and people don't understand that. I feel like the tension of it is the taboo-ness of it is what makes it good, because you know you're not supposed to do something. So if you're just like, I just feel like that's what makes the book good, because you're just like, I'm not supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to, like, that's what make it good. But I feel like, how do I put this before I get off? I feel like it can be done. Like, it can be done with the right setting. At first, I was going to make him a part of like a group, but I couldn't make him a part of a group because I was like, in my opinion, just literally without even writing the story, I was like, y'all, it makes him irredeemable off jump just because he's associated with the organization. You hear, I don't even have to say the word. You hear those snaps, those 3 letters, and you out of there. Irredeemable. You can't redeem that. I don't care if your daddy was making you be a part of it. You can't redeem that already. You read that and you're just like, nah, fam. No. But if you put people in the right circumstances and you give them the right mentality and you write it out perfectly, bad people I don't know if I'm gonna say this, and hurt people, and that's how I feel like I made Atticus hurt people, and his character is a hurt character, but I'm not making him so hurt to the point that he's out here like doing things. Just, I want y'all to remember that I'm not like, I feel like one thing and two for sure, one thing about me and my characters, I'm gonna make them redeemable. It's like realistically. So when y'all read this book, give it a try, because I feel like I'm gonna do it justice. All right, I'm gone. I think, hold on, okay. Will Grant get a story? Yes. I don't know. I'm for real. I'm gone after this. Grant will get a story. If y'all seen at the end of it, it said, yours, ours, his, mine, and then it said etc. And that's going to be hers, which is Grant's book, and then theirs, which is, I'm not telling you. But yes, hers will be a book. I don't know when I'm going to write it, but if y'all remember, our boy Grant got drug outside. So yes, and he's hers. I trust you with the genre going off of what I read from you, because goodness, it's a touchy subject, but I'm also excited to read it. I love Black women so much, I would never give them a piss poor storyline to make them love somebody or I seen another thing that they was like, I hate when he's a part of a group and he wants to change because she's fine. Me too. Like, that's lame. That's lame. You done did all this bad shit. You done killed people. You done raped people. You done burnt stuff down, and all of a sudden this black fine girl come around and she nice, and all of a sudden here you are, fall in love. Baby, move around. No. Y'all never gonna get that from me. Never. Because I hate characters like that. Even Sterling, if you notice with Sterling, he was already changing his mindset with Ben. No. is Grant Dom Asher's daughter? I can't tell y'all. Because I don't want to spoil it too much. I don't want to spoil it too much. But he's hers. And he is the submissive. I would say that. But I feel like, now for real, I'm gone after this. But I feel like people misunderstand what a submissive is. People think a submissive is solely just a person who always is. But there are submissives that act like dominants. Does that make sense? There are doms that act like submissives. I feel like people have to really understand and explore. A lot of one of the girls asked me what was a princess, and that's why I had to explain it, because y'all are so used to being liking brats. But there are princesses. There are not just babies and littles. Daddies are not the only doms out there. Like there are sirs, there are misters, there are lifesavers, there are Mr. Galaxies. There are there are dragons, there are wolves, there are bunnies, there are all types of different things to explore in that world. And my goal is to show more of those without just leaning on daddy, if that makes any sense. Okay, I think I answered all the questions. If y'all don't got no more questions, I'm gonna wait just one more second. If y'all ain't got no more questions, I'm about to hop. I keep saying this, I'm gonna hop on off. Thank you guys so much for joining on this Tuesday live. I had such a good time. I was like, baby, ain't nobody about to be up on here. I'm a unicorn. That's what I'm saying. I started out as a princess, not a bratty princess. I started out as a princess. Like I was to serve. I want to serve my man. He don't need to do nothing for me. Now I'm a bratty princess. And I feel you know what I'm gonna do? If y'all are in my notification board, I'm gonna post when I get off of here. I'm gonna post I think it's Quora. I'm gonna post a Quora post that I seen that made me like, oh my God, this is perfect. So that's where I got a lot of my research from. I'm also a little, I love it here, y'all. Y'all are like so amazing. If y'all don't have no more questions about what I have going on or anything, I'm gonna hop off. I will start doing these random lives every now and again. Thursday we're on live on YouTube. For the playback people, we're live on YouTube. We're gonna do a book discussion of Dear Glory. So if y'all have not read it, get caught up, because we're gonna talk all things Dear Glory, and it's gonna be spoiler alert. So don't hop on if you ain't ready, because I'm about to be talking. All right, and come with the questions. All right, I'm hopping off. All right, y'all, love y'all. I love y'all. Bye.